Self-leadership is all about how do we become effective leaders of our own lives.
I really love your background, the fact that, you know, you decided to take in the subject of self-leadership, which to me, we talk about leading others, but here we're talking about leading self. And so
Mm,
I'm curious, are there any myths or cliches that you feel that dismantling is important for you to do by showing up as yourself, that you can
mm,
demonstrate that?
yeah. So I guess it's helpful to start by sort of defining what I mean by self-leadership, and people have their own definitions, but we're so used to being leaders of other people, whether that's in teams, in our own families. We might step into leadership positions, but very few of us have the skills and tools to be effective leaders of our own lives because we're not taught this in the education system. We're not taught this in our jobs. We might have received ad hoc training, but we don't tend to get a full course on how do we look after ourselves in practice. What does high performance actually look like operating in a high pressure industry? How is that sustainable? Self leadership is all about how do we become effective leaders of our own lives? And there's different levels that I speak to on that, which we can go into. How does that link to me showing up as myself? So um, I think what really resonates with people is that I've been on the ground where people are. I know what it's like to operate in a high pressure industry. I know what it's like to have lots of noise in the mind, to be trying to find the time to do any of the things that I know will support me and also feel like I don't have any purpose. So I get it. I get how my clients feel when they come to me. Um, and I'm also quite a different men's coach in the sense that a lot of the men's coaches out there are very sort of alpha drill sergeant type. And there's a space for that. And there's people who need that in their lives. And I think any form of change work, it can be incredibly powerful. But the space I provide is something a bit different, which is you don't need to put on a mask and come in, and you don't need me to be stepping into a drill sergeant role for us to do some really transformative work. We can both be ourselves. I can hold a space that's very grounding and calm, still gently challenging, but deeply transformative at different space. And that works for a lot of guys who don't want that sort of more alpha drill sergeant type of coaching. I think so many men are so hard on themselves already, and the last thing they often need is someone, another man, barking at them